Hello, friends, and welcome back into the Cowboys Report. On today's show, we're taking a look at all the top NFL free agents left. If the Cowboys could sign anyone, if they want to sign anybody, we'll break it down for you. I will say, I think a lot of these guys, they just might not be good anymore. Or they want more money than they should ever be asking for in early November. Or maybe they don't want to play for a 3-5-1 team. Cowboys have the cap space. They probably still have some needs on defense. You've asked a lot of these guys, Asante Samuel, Justin Simmons, etc. So we will break them down for you on today's show. But first, will the Cowboys sign a notable free agent? Or are the Cowboys going to approach it as, we got DeMarvion Overshown, Stephon Revel coming back. Would anyone be surprised by that one? Counting down the days till Jerry says those reinforcements are coming, and they're just as good as a pickup in free agency or a trade. Will the Cowboys sign a notable player? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Some players who I don't think are options. I think you can cross off Christian Wilkins, even if he were healthy, because you made the trade for Quinnen Williams. Doesn't make sense to me. That goes for guys like Linval Joseph, who you don't need them anymore. If anything, you got too many defensive tackles right now on your 53-man roster / getting healthy with Perry on Winfrey. A couple receivers. Everyone likes receivers, but like Ryan Flanoy has already surpassed Jalen Tolbert. Turpin's got his little role. So DJ Chark doesn't make sense. No one bring up Odell Beckham. He's suspended, and frankly, he's cooked. I don't think he's ever going to get a chance to play again in the NFL. So those guys aren't going to happen. Some names who might happen, though, and the one everyone likes to ask about is Asante Samuel Jr. We do have a tangible change that has happened over the past couple of days as it relates to Asante Samuel Jr. He is finally cleared for football activities. He had spinal fusion surgery in April. ESPN was not lying when they said he had a bunch of, or in contact with a bunch of teams. He has a bunch of visits coming up that we'll get to here in a little bit. Asante Samuel was really one of the better free agents, and it was so confusing for a while. Like, why is he unsigned? Like, yeah, he missed some time with the stingers he was dealing with, and then it eventually trickled out of, oh yeah, he's just really not healthy, and had the April surgery, and it's essentially been put on ice until he has just now been cleared. So 6 visits coming up for Asante Samuel, with the medical checks, I think, a huge part of this for all of these different teams. He's got Carolina today on Wednesday, heads to Green Bay on Thursday, Minnesota on Friday, the 49ers on Monday, the Bears on Tuesday, and the Steelers on Wednesday. So a little round-trip daily travel schedule here for Asante Samuel. Would you like to be on that list? Would you sign him? In a second, I'll break down why I don't think it's going to happen. But would you sign him? Y for yes, N for no. There are two main reasons why I do not think the Dallas Cowboys are going to end up pursuing Asante Samuel. Here are the 2 reasons I just don't think Asante Samuel is going to end up joining the Cowboys. Arm length is one of them. The Cowboys covet long-armed corners. They don't want these short-arm guys, and unfortunately, Asante Samuel does not fit their threshold on that front at all. In fact, he's got like 10th percentile arm length at sub 31 or like just over 30-inch arms. And can't we all foresee the Cowboys saying, well, we got Stephon Revel coming back. We love what he's been doing so far behind the scenes. He's going to have an impact for us. Does feel like he'll be activated in time for Week 11. So you'd have to free up an additional roster spot at corner. I don't think Asante Samuel is going to happen. The arm length was the first non-qualifier. But with Revel coming back, we'll see about Trayvon Diggs. There's going to have to be movement, by the way, at corner in general. But I do think because they're going to get Stephon back, barring a setback, Dallas might approach it as, that's our reinforcement. That's our addition, so to speak. I think that's also true for Stephon Gilmore. And when the Cowboys got through the initial Deron Bland injury and they didn't add Gilmore, that was kind of the sign of, okay, I just don't think it's going to happen. If you want to play more zone, I actually don't think that would have been that bad of an idea. They have played more man, at least, in recent weeks. Gilmore said he wanted to play, but I don't think he's found the right fit for whatever reason. And at 35 years old, there is a chance the rest of the NFL thinks he does not have it. Today's show is made possible by Chubbies. Their stuff is so comfy it should come with a warning label. As temps drop and the weather gets grim, their flannels, pullovers, and quarter zips keep you warm, stylish, and ready for anything, from freezing your tail off at the football game to crushing donuts at the pumpkin patch or whatever it is. You guys get 20% off your purchase by using promo code CHATSPORTS over at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. Check out their everywhere pants. As the weather gets colder, they are lightweight, durable, and water resistant. So whatever the day brings your way, Chubby's Everywhere Pants fits for you. And if you want the NFL collection, like the polo I am rocking, Chubby's lets you represent your team in style. Stretch polos are fantastic and comfortable and eye-catching as well. For a limited time, they're giving you 20% off your first purchase at Chubby's with promo code CHATSPORTS at checkout. It is Black Friday coming up. If it is Black Friday, skip the code. Take advantage of even bigger markdowns during their exclusive Black Friday sale. Head to chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. Use promo code chatsports. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Link and the code are in the comments section and the description of today's show. Another corner, because I know you guys like corners, Kendall Fuller, who was briefly on the Detroit Lions and quickly got cut, which for the practice squad makes me wonder if it's over for Kendall Fuller. The decline in play has been real. Wasn't that great for the Miami Dolphins. They've had massive cornerback issues. They did not bring him back. He was mentioned earlier in the kind of training camp timeline by Todd Archer, so I do want to include him still. Other free agent corners, James Bradbury, he might just be done after the really bad 2024 injury. Emmanuel Mosley, talented, just cannot stay healthy. It's probably over for him. Cam Sutton wasn't very good last year. Cam Smith was a second-round pick, but he flamed out real fast, and he might be done already. He had massive issues for whatever reason in Miami. Let's go to the big name safety everybody likes, Justin Simmons. I'll be honest, guys, I don't know why he's unsigned. He's not the same player he was in his prime, unless he's asking for some type of ridiculous salary, or if, again, sometimes these old guys, people just don't think they're as good as maybe they once were, or like teams are lower on them. Maybe that's the case for Simmons, but man, I've watched Donovan Wilson play a lot. You can't convince me he's not better than Donovan Wilson. The vibe I get in general is the Cowboys are going to get Wilson healthy and Malik Hooker back, and they think that'll work. I do worry in general about your safety talent, and I would do a lot of bad things to get Caleb Downs on this team in 2026. Other free agent safeties, I know Marcus May graded out okay on Pro Football Focus, but he's been a part-time player for 4 years now. I don't know if he's a reliable enough piece. Von Bell, Eddie Jackson, he's with the Bears for a while. The safety market does not move me. Name a player who you want the Cowboys to go out and sign. For me, it's Simmons or bust at safety, and I would sign Justin Simmons, but at this point, my hopes are low. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. We'll mention a couple linebackers here, or at least one, I should say, notably. Eric Kendricks. He played with the Cowboys last year. Wasn't that bad. I think he is better than what we saw from Kenneth Murray. I think the Cowboys are going to approach this as we have our reinforcements coming. Logan Wilson is going to help out at middle linebacker ahead of Kenneth Murray. DeMarvion Overshown's going to get back soon. And you have to free up a roster spot for Overshown, by the way. So I think barring injuries, Dallas is going to run with this new revamped look with potentially Wilson and Overshown. Other free agent backers, Juwan Bentley, if you want a thumper. I don't know if you need a thumper. Josie Jewell had some concussion history. That's a red flag, but he's available. Isaiah Simmons, big draft miss for me. Hand up accountability, worth mentioning. Shaq Barrett is linebacker/edge. I am actually going to leave him at linebacker because if you're going to do more five-man front stuff, letting him be like that 3-4 outside linebacker, if he were still good in a contributable piece, isn't actually the worst idea. But he has played one game since 2024. His most notable thing he's done was did you guys see the viral clip of his kid with some projectile, coming out, and he dodged it? That's the best thing he's done in recent years. I think that one's kind of done. I've been very impressed, though, by Donovan Ezeraku as of late. He has looked impactful. He's coming along nicely. Patience needed still, but he looks like a piece long-term. Clowney has outplayed Sam Williams. Dante Fowler does some good stuff as a pass rusher. If Nealon can show some more growth as a run-setting edge, you're okay. You don't have the dude, but you have enough there. Plus James Houston is fun. Other guys who are free agents, Marcus Walker, James Smith-Williams, DJ Johnson, it's nothing earth-shattering. You don't need a guy at edge. I think you still need a dude at edge, an elite player, but I don't think a guy is what you need. We'll be live on Thursday, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Come chat with us. We'll have some fun on our live show. Under the radar maybe need is if something happens at running back. Two names I'll mention. Gus Edwards, who wasn't as good last year for the Chargers. I thought somebody was going to give him a look, give him a chance. At this point, kind of think that race done been run, and it's not going to happen. I mentioned running back because, knock on wood, if something happens to Javonte Williams, who the hell are you going to play in the backfield? They benched Jaden Blue last week following his fumble. They had Malik Davis, cut him back. He should make it back to the practice squad soon. But that's like not a real starting running back. Something happens to Javonte with Miles Sanders out for the year. Phil Mafa's window not yet activated. He might be the guy they activate if something happens. There's just nothing there in the backfield. One name I'll mention is Zach Moss, because the Cowboys had interest in signing him not this past year, the year before that, after a pretty promising season for the Indianapolis Colts. And then he wasn't good for the Bengals. I will say the Bengals have done this 2 years in a row. Regardless of the running back, they cannot run the ball in the first half of the year, and then they figure it out all of a sudden. It's happening this year with Chase Brown, if you have him in fantasy, like maybe somebody here does. But Zach Moss is a really bad neck injury. He broke it. He was in a cast for 2 months, or a neck brace for 2 months. He might not ever play again. The medical is kind of a massive underlying question mark there, but they did have interest several years ago. The problem is the other free agent backs don't appeal to anybody either. Deontay Foreman, good old. Remember when Stephen Jones said Royce Freeman could be the Cowboys' number 2 back? I remember. Jamal Williams, that's Plotter. Maybe you go poach him off a practice squad if you really have to, but that's not the same as a free agent. So not many options there if something bad happens.